Spectrovision Radio.
Along the path we parted ways. I walk the night, you tread the day, and we forgot we slept in knots all on the sunset coast. We shared our meals, we shared our songs, by candlelight or by the sun. I know you've sung 1,000 more since the time you've gone.
Hello everyone, this is Chad Redding here. Welcome back to the Ruck Rabbit Outdoors podcast. I'm here with my co-host,
Timothy Renner.
And we are in Indiana. We actually left Pennsylvania here. And we're here to interview this gentleman here. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. And Alex does a really cool hobby. He has this awesome hobby, which I'm kind of starting to like because it speaks to another thing that I do. And what do you do, Alex? What exactly do you do here? Let's kind of step off to the side here. And it involves this thing right here, actually.
So we have a trials bike here. So trials bikes is kind of a fine dance of clutch, brake, balance. The whole goal is to ride slow, methodical, and never touch the ground. So if you touch the ground, you get pointed out. But I didn't start riding until my 50s, and I got hurt real bad on a big bike the first week. And so I thought I broke the shoulder and the hip, and so I was like, I need some training, and this has kind of led me to this. And I don't know, I just fell in love with it. You don't have to have a big place. You could do it in your backyard.
So when you say touch the ground, you mean your feet touching the ground?
Yeah, the feet. So it's if you happen to slow down or hit a little obstacle, the whole idea is to be able to balance the bike and come out of that without ever dabbing, which is touch a foot left or right.
Ready? So unlike normal motocross, which is another style of off-road motorcycling, this is much more technical.
Yes.
Much slower, much more methodical, like you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
do the skills transfer?
They do. I think they do, because it's after a while it becomes a reflex. So, to me, I wanted to ride the big bike, and it was the quickest way there. So everybody can go with momentum, but once you slow down or you're on an off camber or a downhill, those transfer to not the fear level. It's
right.
Hey, I can balance out of this, or the body position, the clutch, the brake. It's, like I said, a fine dance of all of them that transfers. In my mind, I'm not a road bike rider, but I've been on them, and it transfers to all levels.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, I ride a motorcycle too. I am a street rider, and we have, you got the clutch here, you got the clutch, and then you got the brake and the gas and all that. Because really, on a motorcycle, if you don't know, there's actually two different brakes. Like it's not like a car where you press the pedal and all four brakes kick in. You got a rear brake that's independent from the front brake on a motorcycle, and people don't know unless you ride. Moving the clutch is really important for riding a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
And that's the friction zone,
yes.
Correct?
Yep.
So learning how to work that clutch, engage and disengage that clutch is important for any motorcycle riding, especially for this. I rode it a little bit, and it's not easy.
No. Well, and people on a regular motorcycle always feel that throttle is your only way for momentum. And it's not. It's actually kind of your momentum builder, but your clutch is your transfer. Mm-hmm. You can hold the throttle wide open and baby the clutch. Until you let it out, you're not moving forward.
Right.
And so I think that's the biggest key. You don't have to have true power. And we build power before the obstacle and then transfer it through the clutch. Instead of on the obstacle, holding it wide open and getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So The bike is kind of designed with low pressure tires, so it grips really well on wet surfaces and rocks and logs. It's easy to get off of, so they're probably 150, 60 pounds. But yeah, you can get nicked up and bruised, but it's a slow game. It's not fast, and it's one of the only sports that we're not, it's not a timed race. So you're really just competing against yourself,
Yeah.
you know.
So it's all about a point system, correct?
Yes.
So and it's about engaging the obstacle, and it's about getting up over that obstacle. Now, does it matter how you go that obstacle? So if I'm coming up to like a rock obstacle, do I have to go a certain way?
So yes, sometimes.
Okay.
And I'll have this. There's usually 5 to 6 classes from beginner to a pro, and you have basically an area in the woods taped off kind of like a crime scene, caution tape, and you have an entry and an exit. But through this course, you'll have 2 to 3 windows or doors with arrows pointing for your class that you have to go through and exit without your bike ever crossing the same tire track. So it's kind of a puzzle you work through.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So yeah, if there's arrows saying, hey, you have to go here, yes. But then you have to kind of walk the course and find your next arrow without crossing your line. And
okay, so I just learned something.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you come in, so if I'm coming in from this direction and I make that right turn, I have to go through, I can't cross over where I had just gone through.
No.
Wow, that adds a whole
And
nother level of
to design a course, which
technique to it.
fairly new. I've only been riding 3 years. So laying out the courses, kind of the older guys do, and you could have 50 riders come in and see it and follow the tracks, and then you have one guy that's using his head a little more and find this open line that's so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a cheat code. He just happened to look at it a little different.
Yeah.
So you're thinking with your mind about not crossing, but there's got to be some instinct there too.
Oh, sure.
Or
sure.
just knowing, feeling it out, I guess.
Feeling
and
it out.
experience has to play a lot into that.
Yeah, and also how to read the land.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of read the land. So, I'm just it's just kind of like when I'm like hiking up some rocks. I'm looking for that path that's easier to get up, and I imagine your background. We're going to get into that here in a minute. You read the land.
Sure.
From what I know about you, and this helps you. It helps you with this, don't it?
Every little. I mean, if there's a tree there and you have to make a turn, you want to give in the ribbon. You can actually move the ribbon. You can't cross it. You want to give every possible inch to help you make that
That's
radius.
cool. That's cool.
A lot of times there might be just a little lip or a root or something to kind of off throw your balance, especially on an uphill or a downhill. And it's what we call, it's a point getter. We're trying to get you a point.
Yeah, that's cool.
To get you to stumble.
That's cool.
And then as you advance in the levels, the degree of difficulty increases and the turns increase at a point where you watch the guys bounce the bikes around. You can't make the turn without bouncing the bikes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wow.
So
it seems like, from outside looking, it seems like somebody you have to be present all the time. You can't, like I said, mentally, but also instinctually. You have to be there.
Yes.
Which, to a certain type of person, I think really fires them. Really, really appeals to certain people. Yeah.
Riding motorcycles, you have to be there. Like you can't. Like if you're on the street, you really got. It's not like you get into a car, and you know this. If you get in a car, you're basically like in a room, and you could just be going down the road. When you're riding a motorcycle, you're more in the landscape than you are separated from it. You don't have that steel and metal around you. You have to read the road because of obstacles. You got to pay attention to other people, to people around you. And when I first started riding, which I've only been riding for like 3 years, okay, it was so crazy. Like I'm going down the road and this lady was walking by me, this older lady, she walked by me and I could smell the freaking perfume on her as I'm going by. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I never had that. You don't have that in a car. You're more present and you're more in. It's really Zen-like in a way.
Sure is.
It,
like you guys have been out in the morning or the night, you might hit a dip or a coulee, what they call out west, and feel the temperature change. You never feel that in a car. Or
No.
the smoke settled from the neighbors a mile away, then back up in the cedars. So yeah, it's like a high-speed horse or whatever, you know. You're taking it all in.
It's really and that's why I love riding, because I don't need to go fast. You know, some guys, you see the guys on the sport bikes, and I'm not cutting them. That's what they love. And they go, boom, you know, and it's all about them. It's all about the speed. But it's more like, for me, it's more like you're just kind of riding. You're part of the landscape, you know.
Sure.
And this is just like that version on steroids.
It's distilled down, yeah.
Distilled down. And that's why I'm like, this is cool. And that's why, like, well, you know, I don't know, maybe because I might try this.
Folks, I have a prediction that Chad will be doing this at some point.
Yeah, we got him on one yesterday. He liked it. So.
Oh, I did. The biggest thing, and I'm going to have you actually show this if you don't mind jumping on there.
Oh, okay.
You don't sit on this thing.
No.
You're standing up the entire time. Do you mind standing up?
Yep.
You want me to hold the...
We'll try it here.
Yep.
And see if we can balance it sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll throw
Here.
these down.
Yeah, I'll put that down.
So I hadn't been on it much this year. Winter's been around. But we'll try to balance. And you can let go. I'll see if I got it.
Are you good?
Yep. And so, and here's the whole deal. If we do stop in a course is to be able to balance.
Wow.
And hold this position. And it shouldn't be more than, really, in theory, you know, like 10 seconds. You know, you don't have to set the course all day this way before you make your move.
Right.
But, you know, it's a long time to get to here. It was for me.
Yeah, I imagine so.
No, it was hard yesterday when I was doing it. I mean, I was getting
it. You know, I took a lot of pointers from people. One is to never look straight down, is to look forward, and your natural balance will come there. And it's really more in your legs. We fight it with our arms at first, but it's really a fine touch in your feet.
Wow. So yeah, you stand on this bike as you're riding. I mean,
Yep.
and you can go ahead and jump off if you don't mind. I'm gonna just leave your helmet there if that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll sit over here. You all right with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody noticed, but he put his finger over the brake like that, a single finger, and you do that on the clutch too.
Constant.
Yeah, and that's so you can adjust your front brake and your clutch all the time as you're going. And even when you ride a regular motorcycle, you do that. They tell you to cover that, you know, because that way, that half second of pulling that clutch in or that half second of pulling that brake in could mean
it is,
life or death, you know, on the street.
It becomes a reflex. Like I said, the thought process isn't even there. It's just a true reflex. And that's why I think it would translate to any rider once they got in that
It would make you a better rider.
It would make you a better rider. You know, a car happens to stop, you're already there. You're transferring your skills to maybe think, hey, slide and jump across the ditch so I don't rear end it. I don't know. I've not been on a really what they call a road bike, a rally Honda 300. I had one for a little while, but still I could full lock turn that bike in a figure eight in no time because the radius of this turns really sharp compared to a road bike. They have stops, so they're probably like in here.
Yeah.
And
this is specially designed for this sport. Yep. And now, when you say big bike, little bike, big bike, little bike, what do you consider, like, what are these typically? What are the CCs on these things?
I know they may have, well, they've got electric bikes now, like Striders the kid starts on, but 80 CCs, 125s, 200s, 250s, and 300s.
Oh, wow, they actually have a 300 class.
Yeah, and so it's really not a class, it's just you've got more power there. So like the pros are usually in that bigger bike, trying to build that power before the obstacle to leap on it.
But then you get more weight involved.
Not a lot. It's and so, you know, when I started, I just found whatever I could used, and there's two kind of theories there. I started with a 300 bike, which kind of lets you cheat because you have the power. And then the other theory is, you know, you should start on a smaller bike to really learn the techniques and use the power. So looking back at it, you know, of course I didn't start till 50.
Right.
You know, trying to back up. Sometimes you have to back up to go forward.
For sure. For sure.
No doubt.
So as far as the sport in general, you said it's kind of more popular in Europe.
Yeah, and I know Spain, Italy, Europe. Other than that, this country, there's pockets, but I don't, statistically wise, whether it's really growing or dying, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but you require a course. You need space to have a place to do it.
Yep, and like I said, if there's not people around, it's real hard for a kid or somebody to get trained.
I would think so, yeah.
Or a mom to drop that money on a bike. So you usually, it's kind of a race family, and you see the kids start on a little Strider and then build up.
Wow.
But then you have a lot of guys like me, that come into it and don't want to sit on the couch, want something, and it's neat. It's good for the whole body. It's a lot of technique and muscle skills.
As one who tried it, I can attest it is very much so. It is a workout.
Well, that's a good way to work into. So you don't like sitting on the couch in general, do you?
No,
yeah.
You've been an outdoors person all your life, right?
And that is the point of why we're doing this podcast is to show there are cool things you could do in the woods, not just hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, which are all great, but there are other alternatives.
Ways to enjoy it.
Yeah, if you like motors, and there you go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you grew up basically hunting, fishing, all that.
Yep. Yeah. Do it all here. And the neat thing is it made me start building trails around the farm that I didn't have. And a lot of them I just pick up deer trails because these will just go about anywhere. And so it's the best of both worlds now. We ride them, we hike them, we hunt them. In the creeks or the small streams, we slide right up them. It's just another way to get around and enjoy it.
Do you ever use this when you're going hunting?
I haven't, but I've thought about it because
I've just
does
wondered
have a little
if guys
light, and an electric one would be ideal to slide in.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a question about that. If you said there's smaller electric ones, and with the buildup of electric motorcycles, do you ever think that electric versions of these will replace the engines? It's
getting there, but you kind of old school guys that ride here, we like the smell of two-stroke and the noise. I don't see myself going that.
Me either. I like engines. I like the noise. I like the the vibration.
Right.
It's part of the experience. Yeah. I just feel that's part of the experience. You kind of lose something. Some people are like, "Oh, it's so quiet." I said, "But yeah, there's something to be said to hearing that the rev of a motor,
sure.
The engine and all that stuff. Something to be said on that." So
having grown up hunting and fishing and again just enjoying the outdoors, what do you think made that turn at 50 where you thought, I want to get on a bike?
COVID hit, and I don't know. It just we sat around here and work your whole life, and I thought, I had a bike in 4th grade. Something hit me. I wanted to start riding again, so I bought a big bike, a KLX 300, and got hurt on it the first week pretty bad, and like I was saying earlier, and thought I need to go back to the basics. And I had just come across this online.
Okay.
And it's the way to go.
It'll be an interesting thing to see how COVID, because I think that happened for a lot of people.
Yeah.
COVID kind of pushed people outside more.
It did. It did. And like I saw, as somebody who camps, my way I get into the outdoors is camping, and I do fishing. I don't hunt per se, but I do fishing. I hike and I camp and woods bum, which is you go out and you just hang out in the woods. The bushcraft stuff I do and all. That's my way of engaging. When I was out during COVID, I saw so many people in the woods.
Yeah, well,
I had to go in way deeper than I normally do.
Yeah.
All these sales of boats, campers, ATVs were sold out. I lucked into a used bike. There was no inventory there for a long time.
Oh, wow. So even these sold out.
I don't know on these. I looked and just found a used one because I didn't want what if I didn't like it?
Right. Mm-hmm. But you're talking about the motocross bike?
Yeah. I mean, bass boats, campers, ATVs, everything. It's sold out.
Really? Wow, that's interesting.
So that'll be interesting to see, like how much COVID impacted the outdoor scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going forward.
And then
here.
how many people stuck with it too?
Yeah.
I wonder if they did it then and then they faded out. I mean, they might, different strokes for different folks. They might have found they didn't like it, but
that's really cool that you found something unique that you really love.
And it doesn't take a big area. You could literally have 1,000, 2,000 square backyard, and put cones out. You don't have to have a ton of obstacles at first, or ever. I mean, it's the slow game.
Well, the little obstacle course that we filmed you, and we're going to show that film at the end after the interview. It's not that big.
No,
like it's probably the size of my backyard.
Yeah.
So, and the way my backyard's laid out, it would be perfect. Like there's all kinds of trees and stuff, and it wouldn't be hard for me to, I could go up over the sand mound. You're not tearing up the ground really per se. Now, I did see you get on it one couple times this weekend. She'll run. She'll run, right?
Yeah,
She'll run. I saw you popping wheelies and all that fun. So you can have fun with it. It's not all, it's awesome. I think it's cool. I think it's
I'll
really,
never
really cool.
be able to push it to the top. Just my abilities, but there'll always be somebody better.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Anything like that, you start late in life too.
So
anybody who started 20 years before you, or even as a kid, they're always gonna just have that that experience.
And even then, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
You're having a good time.
We have people ride, and it's a non-judgmental zone. Really.
See, that's great.
It's awesome
we
too.
don't care if you started yesterday or 20 years, or you ride trails or want to ride the obstacle. We have a good time.
That's the kind of community I like.
Yeah,
they're very supportive,
I love that. I love that.
And we had some guys out here, and we always have a fire and talk in the mornings, and they were talking in the past that they'd get to talking and never unload their bikes. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Nope," but it's just
that's cool.
Neat bunch of guys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we're going to get in your background a little bit.
Okay.
Tim touched on it a little bit. So obviously the motorcycle, this is new. This is new. What did you do when you were younger growing up? Did you grow up in this area of Indiana?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Growed up here. And so, well, my family were tobacco farmers.
Oh, wow.
And so they had a little country store over here, but it was kind of neat the whole family to work in the tobacco. It's a year-round pretty much project. But looking back at, as a kid, we're like, all the other kids were doing other things, and when it was time to go in tobacco, there's nothing really fun about it. But get laid down, I guess, your skill set for a good work ethic and life.
Sure.
Right.
But to have fun here, we enjoyed it. Swam, fished, hunted.
Just pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything.
Did you ride motorcycles when
I
you were
had
younger?
one in 4th grade for a couple years, and then the first year the quad runners come out, the Suzukis, I bought one. 185 quad. And then some of the neighbor kids had 3-wheelers. And
That's what I had. I had a 250 Honda 3-wheeler.
And once I got my license, I had to sell it to get a car. And so you just kind of got away from it. And then at 50, I don't know, I was a big shooter most of my life, and I just kind of got burnt out on that hobby, and it's kind of what took me to the bike.
That's cool.
I sold a steer to get my first car.
Did you seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, so I learned something. That's cool. Was it one you had to?
I raised it from.
Oh man, was that hard?
Okay.
I always wonder if that's hard.
This is not my line. I borrowed this from somebody else, but here's my take on that. I'll ask you a question. You know why I eat beef? Revenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't easy, and it wasn't fun.
I didn't think so.
But it was, again, I was responsible for them, not just for mine, for all of them.
Right.
So I had to get up early in the morning, go out and feed them. I had to make sure they had water in the trough. I had to go out in the afternoon when I got home from school, which I was in a rural area, so by the time I got home from school, it was dark sometimes. Yeah. From elementary school, I'm talking about. And I had to go out and feed them, So it's just, that's growing up with a farm,
That's just growing up in the country in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't farm, but,
and we had a little farm. We weren't a great big beef farm. But it was a little thing, but that was my job, so.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you the question we always end the podcast with. And if me and you are sitting around a campfire, yes, we shared a fire last night, which was awesome. Thank you for that. That was fantastic. And we're camping and we're swapping stories. What would be a story that you would tell me?
Well, one that kind of sticks out in my mind is a pastime of my dad's was to frog gig as a child.
Cool.
And so...
what is frog gigging before you go, for people who don't know?
So you'll either walk a pond with kind of a headlight and blind the frog, and then you have kind of a cane pole or rod with a 4-barb, 3-barb gig, like a fork on the end, and you gig the frog.
Yep.
Anyway, we'd do a lot of farm ponds, but we were going up the local river here in North Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
At the time we lived in town, we still had the farm. Our house had burnt, so we were in town. And so we pull down to this river. We just have a little John boat, and it's still a life lesson. So it's neat to tell this.
These are always the good ones.
It really is. And so the river's real calm, and my dad says, they had a bad storm up north. He goes, let's go on east and check that river before we get in it. So we come on out here about 8-10 miles and pulled in, and it literally looked like a disaster zone, this river. There was logs, everything floating. It just hadn't got to us yet. Thank goodness that we never put in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it just hadn't made it to us.
Right.
And I still think about that today. It's like, think ahead.
Yep.
Watch the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is important for anything you do outside.
Sure. Always watch that weather. Just a little thought. It's could have saved us. So yeah. I'll never forget when he pulled up to that boat entrance and just seeing that brown water and the logs, thinking, my gosh, what we have been into.
Yeah, it'd been a mess.
Yeah.
Come up through there. And just a few miles downstream, it was calm.
Wow.
So yeah, that was neat.
That's cool. That's good advice too. So, and that's for anything that involves water. I was out at one time and I saw people, a gentleman was kind of pointing them the wrong way, and they were getting water right out of the stream without boiling it or without filtering it. And I'm like, you shouldn't really be doing that. And he's like, it's clean. I'm like, what do you know upstream? I said, there might be a dead deer laying in that water upstream.
Yeah.
That you don't know what's in there. You don't know who.
Car battery, somebody, who knows?
Anything.
Trash.
So you got to think of that when you do that kind of stuff. So forethought, which is very important.
Absolutely.
Very important. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. You've been awesome. It's been awesome to hang out with you guys a little bit this weekend. Come here. Thank you for letting me try the motorcycle. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for everything. Yeah. You guys have been fantastic.
Indiana's lovely people.
Yes.
Yes. One of my favorite places.
Glad to have you.
All right. Well, thank you. So check out our other episodes. Check out Strange Familiars, if you want to see this guy or see me again. And just check everything out. And I don't know, maybe you'll see me ride one of these on a video someday.
I predict it will happen.
I do too. We're going to get him on one.
So, fair weather and safe journeys. Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
That was it.
So it is, you've flown away, my friend. I think on you today. I hope sometimes you sing my songs all on the sunset coast.